Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start within a few minutes, so we would like your cooperation for some more time. We are going to start very soon.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome you all to the 7th edition of the Business IT Conclave of the Bengal Chamber. I will request the dignitaries of the inaugural session to come and take their seats on the dais. Mr. Ambarish Dasgupta, the President of the Bengal Chamber. Mr. Arnab Basu, Chairperson, Emerging Technologies Committee, the Bengal Chamber. Mr. Sanjoy Sen, Co-Chairperson, Emerging Technologies Committee, the Bengal Chamber. Mr. Talin Kumar, Principal Secretary, Information Technology and Electronics, Government of West Bengal. Dr. Gulshan Rai, Chief of Cybersecurity of India. Mr. Atul Gupta, Partner, KPMG, and Mr. C.S. Ghosh, Managing Director and CEO, Bandhan Bank, will join us. This is to inform you that we got to know last evening that Sri Brato Basu, the Honorable Minister in charge of Information Technology and Electronics, Government of West Bengal, will not be able to come to the program. May I now request Mr. Ambarish Dasgupta, President of the Chamber, to please deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My greetings to all the respected dignitaries on the stage, and also my greetings to the audience who have all assembled here. I mean, really, from the Chamber of Commerce, the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry feels really privileged to welcome you to this 7th edition of the Business IT Conclave. And this time, we have taken cybersecurity as our theme subject. I mean, of course, we will be discussing, and there will be deliberations around some other emerging technologies also, but cybersecurity will be the theme. The Chamber has last organized Business IT Conclave on cybersecurity in 2012. We did publish some of our thought papers, Cybersecurity Hype or Reality, in 2012, which we also had published in 2008. Then we changed based on the evolution of the technology and on the cyber hacking, the vulnerability, the evolution of the crimes, the evolutions of the risk-related issues. We republished it in 2012, and we are again republishing that today, incorporating the newer changes, the newer issues, the newer threats and concerns, and newer technologies that have come up. So I'm indeed proud that we are maintaining a kind of view updated on this very important matter, which of national importance, this cybersecurity. And KPMG has been the knowledge partner for this thought paper on this year. In the past few years, a number of high profile, of course, data breaches have gathered widespread media attention, resulting in greater general scrutiny and awareness of the need for the network security, not just in our country, but we have all read about cases in the neighboring countries also. We all read in the newspaper about a case that occurred in Bangladesh, and which also made many of us learn from that case and therefore take more safeguards and measures to that. Considering the importance of the subject and also giving that subject the due consideration, we are indeed very happy that Dr. Gulshan Rai, who is actually at the completely helm of the affairs of the cybersecurity at the central level, who is working in the Prime Minister's office, defining all our cybersecurity policies and what kind of steps are being taken nationally. So we are indeed happy that Dr. Gulshan Rai has come all the way from Delhi to talk to us about how India and the Prime Minister's office and his office is looking at this issue. We are also indeed proud to have the government of West Bengal partnering us in this endeavor. The Chamber is honored to extend its services to the IT Electronics Department of Government of West Bengal in their initiatives in the realm of cybersecurity and also other areas related to the emerging technology. We are indeed enthused by the kind presence of Mr. Talin Kumar, Principal Secretary, Information Technology and Electronics, Government of West Bengal. Now we are sad to know last night of the inability of our Honorable IT Minister to being here for this meeting, but at least the presence of Mr. Talin Kumar as the Principal Secretary representing the government will be able to hear government's states' views on how they are preparing themselves and how people in these states are preparing themselves for that. In addition to the cyber security, I must also say, and many of you have been in some of our earlier seminars and events and talks, that Bengal Chamber of Commerce also took up an initiative on creation of a city of analytics. We did have a lot of discussions on the city of analytics. We prepared our concept paper, we prepared our thought paper, we also designed the township, and thereafter we took to the government. We got good help from the government. There was one phase of tendering out, the auctioning out, or the e-auction e-tendering was also done. It's going through that process now. There is some rethinking which is happening, some other point of views also emerging, but that city of analytics is also another subject which we picked up from the chamber, and we are in continuous discussion with the government, and that is also gaining some traction and momentum. And as we move more towards such emerging technologies, like City of Analytics also will be playing a host to any of the cyber security measures that any companies or any enterprises will actually be picking up. We are also today have read in the newspaper, which is good for Bengal, that Instagram, or a subsidiary of the Instagram, has expressed their willingness to come to Bengal, and that also shows that this state, possibly, as we all endeavored, to define this state as a city of emerging technologies and analytics and cybersecurity, is possibly gaining some attention, and therefore this Instagram's 100% subsidiary company coming here or expressing an interest to come here is definitely a very positive indication. I also welcome my colleagues, Mr. Atul Gupta from KPMG, Dr. Rupali Basu from Apollo, and Mr. C.S. Ghosh, who of course needs no introduction, of Bandhan Bank, who will be joining us during the day to share their perspectives on the cybersecurity and its impact on business. And Mr. Ghosh possibly coming from the banking side, because that's the most vulnerable sector which could be possibly under the cybersecurity threat. And we would love to hear from him that what his views on the banking side, from his views on the banking protections that they are taking. I welcome all the other dignitaries who will be coming during the day, who have carved out time from their very busy schedules and even flown down to the city only for this program. We will be also having participation from Mr. C.N. Raghupati of Infosys, who will also be flying in. It's a great honor to have Department of Electronics and Information Technology, Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, Government of India, corporates like Infinity, Protiviti, Apollo. Protiviti, of course, is a big name in the security space. Apollo, Gleneagles Hospitals, Adamas University, all coming together to make this event happen. And also, India and particularly US have given a lot of stress on the cooperation between the two countries on the cyber issues, including to promote closer cooperation between the law enforcement agencies to combat cybercrime and cross-border cybercrime also, and also to share information on a real-time on malicious cybersecurity threats and intents, and established appropriate mechanisms. Therefore, we are very happy to have from the US Consulate and from US Chamber Mr. Jonathan Ward, who is here with us. He may not be speaking, but he will be here at least part of the day or the full day, if his time permits, to interact with you and give his views on what this US-India collaboration on the cybersecurity threat is. A fact sheet on the framework for the US-India cyber relationship issued during the recent visit of Prime Minister to US says that the cooperation on the cyber issues is a key component of the bilateral relationship between India and the US. So there was a fact sheet issued by our Honorable Prime Minister also. I also thank our Emerging Technologies Committee, which christened this conclave and believe that this would be an opportune time for our state to focus on the cybersecurity matter. With this, I open the session, and I wish the session would be really fruitful and really marking or creating a stage of significance in this area of threats and concerns and the cybersecurity, not just for the state, but for our country as well as for the neighboring countries also, who possibly are also to some extent suffering under this threat. Thank you very much.
I will request Mr. Sanjay Sen to take the session forward, but before that, I'll just take a couple of seconds to load a presentation. May I now request Mr. Shen to please take the session forward. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Angana. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the day on thought-provoking on cyber security, how secure our cyber world is. A question that haunts us each and every day, that haunts us when we do a transaction, and haunts how safe our next generation is, because they only dream, work, and stay in the cyber world. May I request Arnav Basu, Chairperson, Emerging Technologies Committee, to set the agenda of the day. Arnav.
Thank you, Sanjay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Emerging Technology Committee of the Bengal Chamber, it's a great pleasure and privilege to be having all of you and the dignitaries on the stage and the speakers deliberate on cybersecurity. We at the Chamber have always strived to think of topics which would catch the attention of the industry, as well as something which is keeping us awake at night sometimes, as Sanjay mentioned. The last year we had organized in the 6th edition a topic of Digital India, and we had a very broad-based discussion on a lot of topics. This year we thought that let's go deep into one, and what better than cybersecurity as a topic to go deep in and understand from the esteemed speakers and the experts what's happening, how safe are we, how safe do we want to be, and what are some of the concerns and challenges which are bothering us. We are indeed very honored to have Dr. Gulshan Rai here with us, and I'm sure you're all looking forward to hearing from him. We also have the honor of having Mr. Talin Kumar, Principal Secretary of the State, here with us, who would also give his perspectives and the West Bengal government's view on cybersecurity. As we all understand, we've had a lot of growth in cyber attacks, And there has been an escalation in frequency, severity, as well as its impact. And as technological changes keep advancing, many of those changes bring with it new threats, new vulnerabilities, new challenges. And it's like a cat and mouse game. You know, we are always trying to stay one step ahead of these kind of attacks. At the same time, there are hackers, there are other kinds of miscreants who are trying to stay one step ahead of the game. And I think what is also happening is, as we look at industries, cybersecurity is fast becoming a board topic. The board is spending an enormous amount of time actually working on the design of the cybersecurity. They're working with the CISO. The CISO's role has become far more pronounced. We're also seeing that some of the other digital initiatives like cloud computing becoming very central to how organizations are looking at cyber threats, looking at how do they work real time, 24/7 on trying to detect vulnerabilities, and more importantly, trying to respond to them real time. One of the key thoughts for our generation now is also that probably over-regulation is going to become a state of, I would say, reflection of how we have to look at us, how the industry will look at its data, its processes, and also as we go along the route of digital payments, we will hear from Mr. Ghosh what are his thoughts around the industry views on financial services and banking within it. We would also look at how other industries like healthcare, which has enormous concerns around privacy, how they're looking at cybersecurity. We are also thinking of cybersecurity not just as a topic for a particular few industries. When we look at the overall manufacturing industry, one of the key themes for them has been IoT, and we have been hearing a lot of talks around how Internet of Things would disrupt the industry, would transform the industry. One of the key thoughts along with that is how do we handle the challenge of cyber threats as we go into that kind of a model. So as organizations go into having a risk-based framework, an overall security strategy, they have a CIO in charge of data security, they conduct threat assessments, they conduct employee training and awareness programs. It's all a journey, and we are all on the journey. We have throughout the day planned for you a lot of experts who would talk about that. They would talk about new standards. They would talk about how cloud computing can be used to bring in solutions. They will also talk about how some of the different industries are relating to it, how we are trying to, at the same time balance privacy concerns with regulation that's needed. And we hope that today's session would be thought-provoking, it would also be informative, and we would learn a lot from our esteemed speakers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We would have Dr. Gulshan Rai as the next speaker. Thank you.
Thanks, Arnab. May I request Atul Gupta to come and take the dais. To open the session, we have special address from Mr. Taleen Kumar, IAS, Principal Secretary, Information Technology and Electronics. We are aware that Government of West Bengal is taking a lot of steps, initiatives on how we can pay KMC taxes and others. Mr. Taleen Kumar will speak on government initiatives in the cyber security. Mr. Taleen Kumar, please.
Good morning, everyone. The President of the Bengal Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Ambrish Das Gupta, Dr. Gulshan Rai, Mr. Atul Gupta, partner KPMG, Mr. C.S. Ghosh from Bandhan, representatives from industry in West Bengal, cyber security technical personnel, professionals, and technology experts, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be here today. I wish to thank BCCI for giving the government of West Bengal an opportunity to be represented in this seminar. I'll divide my address into 2 or 3 parts. Basically, I'll talk about why the cybersecurity is important to us, why it is important to the government, what are the possible reasons that we are facing this kind of a situation, what possible reasons could there be, and what are the measures taken by Government of India already, and what are the some of the measures that we could take to take it forward. First of all, we have to put it in context. Traditional IT paradigm is undergoing a transformation. Basically, earlier on we had RDBMS, we had structured data. Now in the age of SMAC, social media, mobile, analytics and cloud, the whole thing is undergoing a huge change. So we have to notice this change and the shift in paradigm from structured data to unstructured data, from relatively small amounts of data to large data, from analysis of structured data through RDBMS to analysis of huge volumes of unstructured data. And that is why big data analytics comes into play. India has 1 billion mobile users and 400 internet subscribers. Huge numbers for any country. The urban tele-density in West Bengal is close to 136%, and that of rural Bengal is about 50%. Out of 19 million internet connections, 7 million are rural individuals. So people are becoming internet savvy, relatively faster than one would expect. And that is a good sign in a digital age. Data has acquired 5 attributes: huge volume, high velocity, high value, lot of variety, and of course veracity. 5 V's of data. So this is the backdrop in which we should talk about this topic today. And then the next question is, why is it so important to us? There are 6 dimensions of looking at it, 6 ways of looking at the problem and the challenge before us. The first is the spatial nature of the challenge. It does not have a defined geography. It can originate from anywhere and attack anyone. Because in the global age, we are in an interdependent and interconnected global age. This is bound to happen. The second dimension on which we should analyze is the temporal nature. Is there any pattern? There is no pattern. We have to be prepared 24/7. So the nature of the challenge, therefore, is very severe. Then we have to worry about the severity of the attack. Does it leave us with reversible changes or irreversible damages? And if you can recover the damages, at what cost? The fourth is the speed of attack. The speed with which it happens is phenomenal, is instantaneous almost. The time that it takes a packet of information to travel, speed of light, 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Then we should analyze on sophistication of the attack. How sophisticated, from elementary levels of attack to highly sophisticated nature of attacks. From trying to destroy systems to lying in wait for information. Then we should analyze on the 6th dimension, that is frequency of attack. These attacks are growing and growing exponentially. They are becoming more and more frequent. some statistics and some facts. What is the nature of the cyber crime? You'll notice that it is asymmetric. Now, what is the cost to damages, damaging someone's systems, intercepting information, accessing a system in an unauthorized manner? What is the cost? Almost zero. What is the cost of damaging and wiping out databases? Almost zero. But what is the cost of investing in protecting those databases? Quite substantial. So the asymmetric nature of the problem makes it a difficult challenge. A recent survey in 2016 revealed that over the last year, it has increased twofold. In India, it has increased by 117%. Indian organizations faced 117% increase in attacks. This is a sharp deviation from global trend, which noticed only 39% increase in attacks. So India has to be careful, and India has to grow in capacity to be able to tackle this challenge. Similarly, from the National Crime Records Bureau, the number of cases recorded increased from 5,693 cases in 2013 to 9,622 cases in 2014. Similarly, CERT-IN, Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, over the last few years has noticed an exponential increase in attacks. If we compare the security incidents of 2014 with 2013, there has been a marked increase of 82%. Similarly, financial losses as a result of cyber incidents increased by 135% over the previous year. I don't want to carry on with statistics, but some numbers are important to appreciate the nature of the challenge. Now, what are the possible reasons? See, many people look at threats originating from outside, but the real reason may be inside. What about threats from insiders, from users of systems? No, people, I think for every 15 security incidents, 10 incidents may be caused by insiders, and we don't generally look at it. Similarly, in an era where threats are rising, we don't pay attention to authentication systems. Proper authentication systems are required. The third reason could be that in a rapidly evolving landscape, we don't know how to